Let's take a journey back in time to Jacksonville, Florida, a city with a complicated past where deep roots of slavery and segregation shaped its foundations. But despite the hardships, the black community didn't just survive, they built, they thrived, and they created a legacy that still echoes today. One man who refused to let the world define him was Abraham Lincoln Lewis. Born into a time when black people were told what they couldn't do, he spent his life proving just how much they could. His story isn't just about success, it's about breaking barriers, lifting others up, and creating something that would last for generations. He was named after Abraham Lincoln, the US president, when he was born. And boy, did he live up to that name. Imagine being born just months after slavery ended in a country still figuring out what freedom really meant. That was the world Abraham Lincoln Lewis entered on March 29, 1865. His parents, Judy and Robert Lewis, worked hard. His father, once enslaved, made a living as a blacksmith. Life wasn't easy, but young Lewis had something that set him apart: ambition. At just 13 years old, he took his first job as a water boy at a sawmill. Most kids his age were just trying to get by, but Lewis saw a bigger picture. He worked his way up, earning respect and eventually becoming the highest paid black worker at the mill. But he didn't stop there. He saved his money and made a bold move. He opened Jacksonville's first black-owned shoe store. Most people in Lewis's position might have settled for a comfortable life, but he wanted more, not just for himself, but for his entire community. He understood that real change came through economic power, and in 1901, he co-founded the Afro-American Life Insurance Company, Florida's first black-owned insurance company. Back then, black families had almost no access to traditional banks or financial security. If tragedy struck, they had little to fall back on. Lewis changed that with partners Reverend Edward James Gray, Eugene W. Latson, Alonzo W. Price, Dr. Arthur William Smith, James Franklin Valentine, and Reverend Joseph Melton Waldron. He built a company that gave black families something they had never had before: peace of mind. But Lewis wasn't just about making money. He understood that true power came from education and opportunity. He helped establish the Florida Negro Chamber of Commerce and was a charter member of National Negro Business League, pushing for black business growth, and contributed to schools like Edward Waters College and Bethune-Cookman. And then in 1935, he did something remarkable. He bought oceanfront property on Amelia Island and created American Beach. At a time when segregation kept black families from enjoying Florida's beaches, Lewis built a place where they could relax, celebrate, and just be. American Beach wasn't just a vacation spot, it was a statement: we belong here too. Beyond the businessman and community leader, Lewis was a family man. He married Mary Frances Sammis, whose family history connected both African and European ancestry. Together, they had a son, James Henry Lewis. After Mary passed away, he remarried in 1925 to Elzona Nobelia. On March 10th, 1947, Abraham Lincoln Lewis passed away. But his story didn't end there. His influence is still everywhere, in the businesses he built, the institutions he supported, and the lives he changed. His descendants carry on his legacy, including the unforgettable Beach Lady, a fierce advocate for preserving American beaches' history. Lewis saw possibility where others saw limitation. He didn't just break barriers, he erased them. His life is a reminder that when one person dares to dream, entire communities can rise. Today, Jacksonville still bears his mark, from his former home on Jefferson Street to the institutions that continue his mission. His impact isn't just part of history, it's part of the present and the future.